I'm Robbie, welcome back to our channel Bookworm Couple. Today we're going to be going over a wrap-up of everything that we read and made videos about in December, and then look forward a little bit to what we're going to be talking about in January. And to that end, Happy New Year! I think this is our first video. I don't think. This is our first video of the new year, and we're very excited to keep going what we started this last October.
I'm glad we both went with green.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
It's really nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's color of the year. Let's just say it.
Okay, great. Color of the year. It's the year of green. Anyway, what did we read this month as I rack my brain? We started this month off with Assassin's Blade, right?
Assassin's Blade.
Yeah, so the first thing we read was Assassin's Blade.
Prequel to
the Throne of Glass series. Yeah, it's kind of a collection of short stories and novellas. I was not a huge fan. I didn't hate it. I gave it a 2.5. I was not a huge fan. They were just, the links to all of the videos we're going to be talking about are going to be in the description below, or also popping up somewhere around here. So go watch it if you want to see my full thoughts, our full thoughts. But it wasn't my favorite. It was actually my least favorite of the series so far.
That's right.
So, but yeah, so.
And then we read some Percy Jackson.
Then we did Percy Jackson, a little bit of a switch in our normal scheduling, just because those Wheel of Time books, they are long. We read Titan's Curse, which I believe I gave like a 3.5.
Yeah, it wasn't our favorite.
Which is funny because in the comments someone mentioned that like apparently it's everyone's favorite.
Really?
And I was like, I guess we have more taste.
Wait, why? I need to know.
I don't know.
Let's talk about it.
But yeah, so Titan's Curse, Percy Jackson, and then the last video.
The Old Dragon Reborn.
The book 3 in the Wheel of Time, Dragon Reborn by
I
Robert
loved
Jordan.
it.
We finally got her. We got her.
I will say I was very intrigued by the last book, but this was the first book that I loved. I finished it and I was like, that was at least a 4.
And that's what you gave it. You gave it 4.
So I really, really enjoyed the journey. I had a lot of fun and I cannot wait to join, I was going to say my girls, because I'm really all about the girls.
And that's okay. That's okay.
I'm excited for everyone's journey.
We've also been releasing some videos of our, just having a bit of a discussion and our reviews of the Percy Jackson series on Disney+. So if you want to check those out, you can see the links somewhere here or in the description below. Again, I need to figure out what
Anywhere
I'm going to say.
You want them to be.
I need to not say both every time. And we also released a video tier ranking every book the two of us read this year. I think it was like 80-something books, if I remember. Anyway, check it out. We had a lot of fun making it. So did you get to read anything on your own this month? I know it was a pretty busy month.
Yeah, it was a very busy month, and the Dragon Reborn took me longer than I wanted it to. But I enjoyed the journey, do not get me wrong. But it was Christmas, and so I wanted to fit in a Christmas book. And so I read Midnight at the Christmas Bookshop by Jenny Colgan. I love Jenny Colgan. She is the epitome of like a cozy Scottish read. She does a lot of things set in Scotland. Which I think all of them are set in Scotland. They're really great, like, cozy one-off reads. I read the first book in this particular series last Christmas. It wasn't my favorite. This wasn't my favorite either, but there's a lot of miscommunication trope with the love interest, and I cannot stand that. Okay. And this happened again in this one, but the visuals, stunning. The story, easy to read, a little bit of drama, so you get a little something, and a little bit of love, and a little bit of history, and a little bit of, everything. So it's a perfect holiday read. And she writes non-holiday books as well, but this was one that came out new this year, so I snagged it.
Very nice.
It's enjoyable.
Nice.
What about you? What did you read?
I read quite a few this month. I finished, I was about halfway done, I think, at the beginning of this month, but I finished the third book in the Farseer trilogy, which is the first trilogy in Realm of the Elderlings by Robin Hobb, called Assassin's Quest.
That's a lot
of words. Sorry, I could have shortened that.
No, you need charts and graphs. No, I'd like it.
This was unfortunately by far my least favorite of the three. I gave it a 3.5. I still really like Robin Hobb. I'm still very excited to continue into Realm of the Elderlings. It just wasn't my favorite. I think that the plot got stretched out at a certain point towards like the last third or maybe last half of the book. It just got stretched to such like a slow breaking point that it really, and I know you're not reading these for like a fast-paced plot, but it really kind of, we were going like the minutia of day-to-day travel in these mountains. It was not my favorite. The payoff was great, but it was still, I just think it was a bit longer than it needed to be. But I'm still very excited to jump into Live Ship Traders whenever I end up doing that. I'm sure it will be sometime in the early months of this year. Then I read I'm trying to remember the order that I read everything. Then I read Empire of Silence, the first book in the Sun Eater series by Christopher Rocchio.
I thought you were going to say Christopher Robin.
That would be cool too.
That would be great.
I liked this book. I didn't love it. I've heard that
this is
some
one
people
about
say
the warrior ladies.
The warrior ladies. Nope, that's a different one.
Okay,
We'll talk about that one in a second. Well, whatever.
Just so you know, we also talk about the other books we read together. We don't record all those conversations,
yeah,
but we know bits and pieces about what each other reads. Because you got to talk to somebody about it, especially when you're excited.
It's true. Yeah, it's my first sci-fi series in a while, and I did really like it, and I've already continued the series, as I'll talk about in a minute, but. Yeah, I kind of expected to be obsessed with this based on like how much buzz I've been hearing about it from a lot of the booktubers who I watch. But I just liked it. I hear that the second book in the series is like a huge jump in quality, which I thought that the quality of this book was impressive to begin with. But so I'm still very excited to continue. And yeah, it's a big sci-fi space opera, kind of with a narrative framing device similar to Name of the Wind or something, where the main character is writing their own story.
Cool.
And the main character is a guy named Hadrian Marlowe, who is kind of like a space noble, essentially. And in the future, we find out that he has destroyed a sun and killed like an entire race of aliens. And so it's kind of about his life and how he got to that point. And so
interesting.
The first book is very much about his kind of like young manhood, I guess. Anyway, it was very good, and I'm excited to continue on. After that, I read The Sword of Kaigan, which is
that's the one about the warrior,
which has been on my TBR forever. I read Blood
you
Over
think
Bright
I would
Haven.
like this one?
Yes, I do. I read Emma Lang's Blood Over Brighthaven, which came out earlier this year, which was my first time reading her, and I loved that too. This was an easy 5 for me. I absolutely devoured it in like 2 days. It's fantastic. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. It's just really, really good.
There you go.
Yeah. I wish that she would continue writing in that world. It's a shame to hear that she isn't anymore. I really liked the magic system as well. It was kind of like, reminded me of like Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's just, all of it was very, very good. If you're looking for a standalone fantasy novel and you're one of like the only people in the world who hasn't read this book yet, apparently you absolutely should. It blows by. It's very cool. Kind of like a feudal Japan samurai plus like 300 Spartan type thing. It's very, very, very good. And then I actually read, I forgot about this till we were just about to record this video, Solo Leveling, which is a Korean manhwa. I've never said that word out loud before. But anyway, I read manga and manhwa every year. I usually get like the bug to read one once or twice a year. So this was, I read the entire thing online, and it was great. I've never really rated one before, and I don't know what I would give it.
Did you enjoy your time?
I really enjoyed my time. I thought the ending was a little bit weaker than the rest of it, but you know, with a lot of these like very progression fantasy type things, that's an unfortunately common thing. But anyway, really enjoyed it. I guess if I had to rate it, I'd give it like I'd give it 4. I'd give it a solid 4. Pretty good. And then lastly, I read the first novella in the Sun Eater series, which is kind of like a bridge between the first book and the second book, called The Lesser Devil, and I actually really, really liked this. I don't love novellas, as I have mentioned before, but I really enjoyed this. Very, Seven Samurai, Magnificent Seven vibes, and yeah, easy 4, maybe even a 4.5 if I'm feeling, generous. It was really good, and it also centered on the main character, Hadrian Marlowe's brother, Crispin, who I really wanted to get more of after I'd read the first book, and so I really, really enjoyed it.
Nice.
But anyway, sorry, I went on for a while about that, but that's everything I read this month. It was a pretty solid month for me.
Yeah, nailed it.
Yeah. So, what are we going to be reading next month? This month, I guess. What are we going to be starting with?
What are we going to be starting with?
So,
this
Air Fire. So the first book, yeah, we got it. We're
more time.
We got it. So the first book that we're going to be talking about this month is going to be Heir of Fire. It's the 3rd book in the Throne of Glass series, yes, because the last one was a prequel. And then depending on how long it takes. Yeah, so then we're going to be
reading book 4 in the Wheel of Time series, The Shadow Rising, which the names are good. They're all good. The name intrigues me quite a bit, so I'm very excited for that. Hopefully I can read a bit faster since I'm in the Robert Jordan world pretty hardcore now. I think I'm understanding it a little bit better. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Then we are going to be reading, these two might be interchangeable, but we will also put up a video about the Battle of the Labyrinth, the 4th book in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. And we are also going to be continuing our videos about the Percy Jackson series on Disney+. So look forward to those as well. And do you have anything you are going to be reading on your own next month, if you have the time?
And my Sarah J. Maas girlies know it's coming.
Oh,
Crescent City 3 is coming out.
Is that coming out in January?
I can't even talk about it without getting...
It comes out when?
The short about the 31st, I believe.
Oh, so that's probably gonna be a February book.
No, I don't know.
What do you mean?
I'm not gonna. It's gonna be hard to think about anything else this month, knowing that.
Okay, is there anything you're gonna read before the 31st of
January? I don't have an actual
January?
plan.
Okay, great. Very good.
I don't have an actual plan because I have not anticipated a book like this since the final Harry Potter book. And this is not even the final one in the series, but if you have read the Sarah J. Maas, anything in the Sarah J. Maas world...
Are you going to reread the first 2?
I was thinking about it. I would like to at least read the first one because I remember the second one a little bit better. So we'll see. The only thing I have semi-planned is to potentially reread some Sarah J. Maas.
Cool.
Probably Crescent City, obviously, since Crescent City 3 is coming out. I'm so excited about it I can't even talk. I feel like my whole body went numb. So
okay. Wow. Okay.
Thrilled. I mean, we'll see. There's some things that I'm this month I'm kind of taking it more of I'm not gonna plan so much. I'm gonna see what comes into my sphere because I get sad if I can't finish my TBR. So I'm trying not to give myself too much of a specific goal. So if I have a general of I just want to read some good stuff. I'm hoping to read some more in the Blood and Ash series. I didn't have a chance to read those this last fall. There's not quite a prequel, but there's a book about the first book in a different POV, and then the 3rd book in the prequel series of that series. I forget what it's called. Anyways, some Jennifer L. Armentrout is probably going to happen at some point soon, but right now I can't get my mind around anything besides Crescent City.
Got it. Okay. Very good.
What about you?
I'm going to continue Sun Eater series. I'm currently in the middle of The Howling Dark, which is the 2nd book in the Sun Eater series. I imagine that's probably going to be most of my month, unless for some reason I really fall off it hard. I'm imagining I will have at least one standalone. I was thinking I would try and read Tress of the Emerald Sea, which I've been putting off for a while. It was the first of the Secret Project by Brandon Sanderson. I hear it's wonderful. It's kind of like Princess Bride-y, which is I'm very excited about. So I'll probably try and throw that in there as well, but otherwise I anticipate most of my month being Sun Eater. If I somehow finish all of I think there's 5 or 6 Sun Eater books out right now, I'll probably go back to Realm of the Elderlings and pick up Live Ship Traders, but
nice.
Otherwise I have quite a long series ahead of me, so that's what I'm going to be focusing on for this month.
I love a long series.
Yeah. Alright, I think that's everything. So thank you all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you want to see any of the videos that we were just talking about. And yeah.
Thank you guys for watching and join us on our next adventure.